Part 2. Verdant Wind. Harpstring Moon. The Golden Scheme. Claude leverages his victory at the Battle of Gronder to secure reinforcements from Alliance lords. Meanwhile, the Imperial Army continues to tighten its defenses at Fort Mercius in anticipation of an attack on the Imperial capital.
Thank you for helping me with my training again today, Professor. I'm gonna keep at it for a while longer, so you go on ahead. I can't. Not when I'm right on the cusp of using my power to greater potential. Surely you yourself are tired. Just don't worry about me, okay? I'm sorry, Professor. It was careless of me to continue, despite how fatigued I clearly was. I probably should have listened to you. Now I've made a mess of things. I can't help but feel the need to rush in all things constantly. You get that way when you realize you haven't got much time. I believe I've mentioned that House Ordelia was, at one time, being controlled by people from the Empire. During that time, strange people, mages perhaps, came and performed rituals on all the youth within my family. With the Empire monitoring our every move, my parents could do nothing but watch in horror as all of this unfolded. One after another, the children died, until the only one left was me. You know, my hair wasn't always this color. During their experiments, they'd been doing things with my blood. One morning, I awoke like this. A shock of white hair, all trace of pigment gone. Upon seeing me, the mages were delighted. They realized that their experiments had finally succeeded. Sure enough, they ran a test and saw that two crests coexisted within me. Losing pigment from my hair wasn't the only loss. The mages informed me that my lifespan was now greatly shortened. 5 more years at most, perhaps less. Shortly thereafter, the mages lost interest in me, and we never saw them in the Ordelia household again. Since all that, our family has been in decline. It's challenging now even to govern our territory. After all my mother and father have suffered, I at least want them to have peace as they grow older. That is all I wish for, but I haven't much time to ensure it comes to pass. It's not like what's been done to me can be undone. Professor, the only way I can conceive of would be to remove my crest somehow. But I don't know if that's even remotely possible. Even if it were, I wouldn't be of much use to you and the others without my crests. You sound resolved. I'll allow your resolve to bolster my own. Thank you, Professor.
Our objective is Enbar, the Imperial capital, but our greatest obstacle lies before that.
And what's that?
Fort Mercius. If we can't pass through, we won't be able to reach Enbar.
Fort Mercius, the impregnable fortress, or so it's called.
If I recall correctly, it's sometimes referred to as the Stubborn Old General.
It is a massive fortress that was constructed to protect the Imperial capital.
The Imperial troops we defeated passed through Fort Mercius and retreated to Enbar. Right now, Fort Mercius should only have its usual defensive forces to contend with.
Yes, it would be good to finish up here before more enemy reinforcements arrive. The only real question is what our fearless leader intends to do.
Sorry for the delay, everyone. Those mewling lords kept me from leaving for quite some time.
So, were you able to secure additional reinforcements?
It's gonna have to wait until next month. It doesn't look like they can afford to keep supporting us at present.
Then what should we do about Fort Mercius? Do you plan on waiting around?
No, if we wait until next month, the enemy will have bolstered their defenses. That said, the prevailing theory is that you need triple your enemy's forces to take a fortress with a frontal assault.
Right. That's what we were taught at the academy. And this is Fort Mercius we're talking about. It's renowned for its strong defenses.
Our current army isn't nearly strong enough. What to do?
Whatever you do, just don't ask us to scale those huge walls. We'd end up dead when they hurl rocks down at us.
Yeah, no thanks. If only someone would open up the gates for us from the inside.
Unfortunately, we don't have any spies in there. Wait a minute. I've got it. We sneak in, stir up confusion, and open the gates ourselves to let our allies in.
Right, that's what I was saying all along.
Right, nice one, Hilda. But how do you propose we go about sneaking in?
Disguises? If we dress up like Imperial soldiers, maybe they'll think we're allies and let us in.
Do you really think they'd just open the gates for us? I'd be pretty dumbfounded if that worked.
No, she's onto something. It's a good idea, Hilda. We just need to refine it a bit, and we'll be in there before we know it.
Really? Go me!
What is your definition of refining the idea? I know your go-to strategy is nausea-inducing poison, but...
Oh, I maybe ate too much. My stomach hurts.
Raphael, why are you eating meat during a war council?
So, fearless leader, I'm guessing you're going to keep the crucial parts of your scheme under wraps until the time comes, aren't you?
You know me so well, Judith. Whether we like it or not, this war puts a damper on all of our spirits. What's wrong with trying to have a little fun every now and again? Just leave the details to me.
As I suspected, they seem to be supporting the Imperial Army now. Though I don't quite know who they are yet. Nor do I know what tricks they'll use against us next. We can't afford to let our guard down.
The battle at Gronder Field was gruesome, wasn't it? But perhaps it's irresponsible to look away. To close our eyes to the horrors of war. As survivors, we must ensure that all these lives were not lost in vain. We must see the tragic foundations upon which we'll build our future. May an age of peace rise from the ashes, so that all this sacrifice means something.
Each time we take a step forward, more blood is spilled. But by spilling that blood, we're able to take yet another step forward. War is always a cruel affair. But luckily, we have each other to lean on. We've steeled our hearts. We won't be broken. I couldn't agree more. Without them, we could never have made it this far. Oh, and about taking the fort, I'll need a tad more time to prepare our plan. It's called an impregnable fortress for a reason, after all. My contingencies need contingencies this time, or we may not pull it off.
I wonder how far we can get with this plan, dressing up like Imperial soldiers to sneak in. Claude said it could use some refinement. Any ideas? Claude dressed as a woman? I don't understand what the point of that would be. On second thought, let's just stick to the plan as originally conceived. That seems safer.
Right.
Let's see. Guess what I noticed? I can see further than most other people can see. But I can't figure the point of seeing further than an arrow can fly, since I can't shoot what I see. I suppose I could see a whole horde of enemies coming and run away. That's kind of useful, at least. Thanks, Professor. I think I get it now. I'm gonna put my eyes to real good use.
Some say they saw Gilbert, who used to serve in the Knights of Seros, at Gronder. Apparently, he was originally a Knight of the Kingdom who served Prince Dimitri. He was an exceptional knight. I wish I could have fought by his side.
Fort Mercius is a keep that was constructed to defend the Imperial capital, Enbar. We cannot enter the capital without first capturing that fort. But once we have it, the city should be almost entirely at our mercy. Whatever strategy you have in mind, I have faith that it will lead to victory.
Fort Mercius is old and strong. Its reputation for durability is equal to that of Aryan Road. Are we really going to leave this to Claude, with a plan concocted by Hilda of all people? I would like to, but I am always troubled by how secretively that man devises his schemes. Let us hope the end result is not too outlandish.
You can't be serious. My relationship with the Boar Prince began even before I was born. He was always by my side. You might even say that, at one time, we were best friends. I couldn't fathom the depth of his hatred for the Empire. So much anguish. Could I have saved him? Could I have stopped him?
Doesn't matter how sturdy the keep. If the commander defending it is incompetent, it can fall as easy as anything. That's what they say, at least. I wonder if that applies to Fort Mercius. All I know is, if I was the Emperor, I'd never in a million years assign an incompetent commander to a fort as important as that one.
Oh.
Pardon me.
The fish in this pond get fed every day, so they're swimming all lazy and serene. But the only reason they're kept here is so that they can one day be used for food. But the fish don't know that, so they just swim around happily. It's a bit of a miserable thought, but aren't soldiers much the same?
No sale. You gotta keep looking.
Hey, how about a favor?
A class reunion on the battlefield? That's bleak. That must have been so hard on everyone. You gotta keep looking after them all. I mean, they still look to you for guidance, you know?
What do you require? Farewell.
What?
Professor.
Hello there. This one, yes? This one, yes? I thank you. This one, yes? I thank you. Return soon, please.
No.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Is it true that we'll be assaulting Fort Mercius next? That doesn't sound like the brightest idea. I've heard that it's built to withstand an attack from even the largest of armies. And not to tell you how to do your job, but don't do it. I'm not ready to say my final goodbyes to everyone.
Hey!
Hey there! We merchants of the Alliance territories were excited to hear of your victory in the last battle. We don't much like the prospect of doing business under the heel of the Empire. The Alliance is what we know and love. But more than that, it's low on regulations, which is great for business. Please keep up the good work, Professor. The merchants of the world are on your side.
Claude takes care of the strategy, you direct the troops, and the rest of us focus on the fighting. As long as the system keeps working, we can win any battle, no matter the odds. That's what everyone's saying, anyway. Hope you can keep up with our expectations, Professor.
What?
I never used to care whether I lived or died. But after seeing so much death firsthand, I now realize how precious life truly is. I'm ashamed of how arrogant I was to think that death could mean so little.
I've come here after getting chased out of the Empire. There's no place for our kind there anymore. But there are still many inside Empire territory who haven't abandoned their faith in the Church of Seros. I pray that one day we'll get the chance to rebuild the church within the Empire.
Need something? This one? You're all... This one? You're all... See you again soon.
Professor, so many people died in the battle at Gronder. And here we are, preparing for the next battle as if nothing happened the day before. It's almost easier to think about war as theater, with the stage an entire continent. Something like that. If an accident happens on stage, the next day's performance must be unaffected. Everyone just pretends like everything is fine, focusing on their role in the play.
Definitely.
After that great battle earlier, the balance of power in Fodlan has shifted greatly. To get revenge for all our fallen friends, we'll have to stake our lives on the fight that lies before us.
Ah, Professor, I have a question for you. Have you heard of the Death Knight? I'm referring to that Imperial general who has been operating under that moniker. Nothing is certain yet, but I get the feeling we'll have to face him soon enough.
Hello there.
Yes.
Professor?
Hey, you. Professor. Standing face to face with those whom I went to school with. On the field of battle. How inhuman war is. How horrifying. My heart feels shattered. It is my hope that this war marks the end of such foolish behavior.
Hi.
Pardon me. I've come to deliver vegetables we harvested in the village to the monastery's dining hall. Because of the season, I couldn't really pick that much. But I wanted to help you guys out, even just a little bit. We're busily planting seeds, so when things start to grow, I'll be back.
You know when you work your muscles and they start screaming? That means you gotta be nice to them. If your muscles are hungry, you gotta feed them. And let them rest when they're tired. Of course! If my muscles hurt, then I hurt. If they're hungry, well then I'm hungry too. What's with the confused face, Professor? You look like you don't get a word I'm saying.
Oh.
Edelgard, Dimitri, and our own Claude. All the house leaders from way back when, assembled again at Gronder. I wonder what their thoughts were as they headed out to the battlefield.
That's this.
Eating.
This is.
I did not.
I like.
This food.
Yep.
The flip.
Hey, Ignatz. Drawing again?
I am. I suppose that's rather irresponsible, as we're in the midst of a war. But ever since we last spoke, I felt keen to pursue my artistic aspirations.
Like I said, it's your calling. Don't feel bad about it.
All right, I'll try to embrace it. And you, are you practicing archery today?
More just double-checking this bowstring. I want to make sure it's ready for the next battle.
Okay. Well, let's both do our best.
That's the spirit. Does that mean you finally accepted that you're an artist?
I'll try to discuss it with my parents after the war. There's little demand for knights in peacetime. In fact, painting might be a more reliable way for me to support my family. I'll try to persuade them with arguments along those lines.
Good point. I'm glad you've got some confidence.
Come to think of it, Leonie, what will you do when the war's over?
Me? I'm going to become a top-tier mercenary.
A mercenary in peacetime?
Even after the war's over, there'll be plenty of work for me to do before peace really takes hold. I'll pay what I owe my village back, with interest. After that, I don't know. Never thought about it.
I'm sure you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Hardly. Lots of options just don't suit me. I mean, could you imagine me as a songstress? But yeah, I don't know. Once I paid off my debts, I guess I'll just have to find something new.
I don't think there's any rush. You can travel and relax, and think about it.
Travel, huh? There's an idea. Wanna come with?
Huh? Me?
Sure. You were really excited about different styles across the world, weren't you? Don't you want more of that? Maybe even see the sky in a new shade.
Yes, I suppose I do. I'd like to see the whole world.
If your parents object, we'll just say I kidnapped you. Actually, feel free to say that even if you go alone.
Oh no, I want us to see the world together. Your presence makes every landscape more beautiful.
Hey, hold on. What's this all of a sudden?
Oh, that's not what I meant.
You're hilarious, Ignatz. There's never a dull moment with you around. Hello again, Sedith. Oh, full basket. Big catch?
Indeed. Thanks to you, I now know all about the proper use of bait.
Even so, that's quite the haul.
I have developed a few tricks of my own as well. In my enthusiasm, I may have gotten a little greedy.
Oh, yeah?
Once I started to catch fish, I began to pay very close attention to the number I had caught. I hear it is not uncommon for one to become a little preoccupied with that sort of thing. And when I recalled the prospect of having what I caught cooked for me, the challenge was too tempting to ignore. But alas, it seems I have gotten a little more preoccupied than is appropriate for my age.
Well, that's only natural. Seeing what you've already got just makes you curious how far you can take it.
It has made fishing an even richer experience for me. And for that, I must thank you.
Don't mention it. Actually, I should thank you too.
Oh?
Yeah. Used to be, I only ever fished for food. Lately, though, I've been coming here just to relax. I do still eat the fish, of course, but I appreciate fishing in a whole new way now.
Seems we have both made worthwhile discoveries. So which is it today? Hunger or relaxation?
I'd only planned to take it easy, but seeing all you've caught has definitely made me hungry.
I had planned to bring all of them to you regardless. Take as many as you please.
Hey, thanks. In that case, why don't we eat together? You can leave all the cooking to me.
Brother!
Flame, is something the matter?
I thought I made it clear that I do not want you meddling in the affairs of me and my friends.
I am not quite sure what you are referring to, but I promise you I would never try to stand in your way.
It has come to my attention that you have been running about asking people what they think of me. Asking everyone!
Well, of course I have. It took me quite some time. But for you, it was well worth the effort. I was able to confirm that you are getting along well with everyone. It was very reassuring.
I cannot emphasize enough how embarrassed I was when I found out. And you have caused such a stir for those whom you questioned. Why, one person even said he feared for his life when you cornered him in the dining hall.
The dining hall? Ah, I know the fellow you are referring to. Yes, I've seen the way he looks at you. I recognized in an instant that he had impure feelings for you. As your brother, I took it upon myself to test his resolve. I merely asked him if he was prepared to lay his life on the line for my beloved sister.
He is nothing more than a friend. Kindly keep out of my social business in the future.
I am happy to see that you are making friends, but you should weigh your options more carefully.
Who I befriend is absolutely none of your business. Do you know what they call people like you? Overprotective meddlers. I am no longer a child. Are you incapable of trusting me, even a little?
Of course I trust you, but as an elder brother, I have a certain responsibility.
As my brother?
Obviously.
Oh, never mind it. If you'll excuse me.
I have a question. I see.
I'm glad we're teaming up.
Yes, this will go well.
We did some great work.
Guess I need to know this stuff, huh?
Now to keep polishing.
Here you are, Teach. Take a look at this. I found it in Rhea's room. It's addressed to you. Well, I know it's not necessarily fair to Rhea, but there's no way I wasn't going to take a look. I thought I might find some valuable information. Or even some treasures that could be useful for the coming war. In the end, all I found was that letter. I obviously couldn't read it before you did. Go ahead, I'm sick with curiosity.
Dear child, I have little time, and so I will keep this brief. I asked you to take care of things should something happen, but I wish to make myself useful as well. I left a treasure at the Holy Tomb. Please take it. However, note that I set a bit of a trap to prevent thieves from stealing it. Please take ample precautions so that you are not harmed when you retrieve it. May Sothis protect you. Rhea.
Her handwriting is messy. She must have written it right before that battle 5 years ago. That treasure, if it belongs to Rhea, there's no doubt that it has great value. It would be bad if some thief managed to sneak off with it. Let's go and get it, Teach. Great. But there's a trap there that might injure us? Huh. Just to be safe, there's a friend I'd like to invite as well. After all, who knows what lies ahead? There's something there. Are those the devices that Rhea warned us about? Those are the Phantoms, and some of them are giving orders. Let's target those first.
Steady now.
I took care of it.
What's my strategy?
Allow me to demonstrate!
All is going to plan.
Amazing!
At the ready.
Shall we?
I'll cut through.
I'll do my best.
Leave it to me.
Shall we?
My orders? Onward!
Let's make this quick.
Should have seen that coming.
Giant monsters. It would be best to take care of whoever's controlling them straight away.
Appreciate that. No mercy.
All right, who's next?
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Hope this isn't it. Thank you.
They said.
Steady now.
So close. Too easy.
Did the trick. Pure grit. Make a difference. A
Be
striking
smart or I'm
display.
finished.
No chance.
I must lead them well.
So nice.
This still isn't good enough.
You haven't earned my pity. You fought well.
I fought and won.
Appreciate that.
Ooh, nice. My orders?
Predictable.
Damn.
Sorry.
Our quarrel wasn't personal.
They may be phantoms, but they can still be harmed. Let's take out the other commanders.
Did the trick.
took care of it.
Be careful. Thank you.
Haven't.
I'll cut through. Too slow.
Thanks for that.
You're the best!
How about a curtsy? I got caught. I'm not dying here.
Here is something to believe in! Another victory.
You did it.
Sorry, but I must.
Time for such.
Be smart or I'm finished.
I've got no time for mercy.
Well done.
Looks like we made it through the madhouse. So where's this treasure that Rhea mentioned? We finally found it. This must be the treasure? Let's get out of here and take a look. Oh, good grief. Rhea's trap was more extensive than I expected. Could something like that really be a result of sorcery alone? I don't understand the structure at all. It certainly wasn't made quickly. I think so. That trap may have been built into the Holy Tomb when it was first constructed. In which case, there might have been another purpose for building it, other than just as a saint's tomb. Now I have even more questions for Rhea. I hope we reunite with her soon. However, we now have a salvaged treasure. It might be something incredible. The church kept some of the legendary weapons that were blessed by the goddess. This isn't something one just stumbles across. Anyway, it was entrusted to you, Teach. Do what you will with it. My curiosity has been satisfied for the time being, so maybe I'll return to my responsibilities.